Thank you everyone for joining us today. This is Christie Hayes, and Christie and I met going through the fitness instructor training through a company called Revelation Wellness. We just completed that in April.
Yes.
And we actually didn't meet until the last 4 days of that retreat.
Correct.
Of that study. So, but anyway, Christie has. She just really impressed on me, and I'm just going to share this real quick, and then we'll let you talk.
Okay.
We were having a really powerful evening at our retreat, and we were in various areas of the building that we were using for this particular thing, and I walked in and I saw Christie on her knees up front with the microphone, I cry, in her hand singing Amazing Grace. And there's a lot to that in her singing, and I hope at some point in your story and what you share we get there.
Yes.
Because she was in my same bunk room. We were in the same bunk room, and we were all just so busy learning everything, and it was just an awesome experience. But that just really impressed upon me, and I'm going to wait until you get to that part of your journey with the Lord and share, but just whatever you feel like He's sharing.
Okay. So I will definitely say that my journey to begin in growing my relationship with God has not been an easy path for me. And that is due to relationships that are strained early on in my life, to being in abusive relationships, to having a child very young, in that relationship being left homeless, jobless, carless, trying to raise a 2-year-old, and couch hopping, and really just trying to rely on myself. And put me, I would pray during those times, but would never really feel like I connected with anything. I'm sure He was with me now, looking back, because He saved my life in many different ways during that time period. Just situations that I had allowed myself to be involved in or put in a basic survival mode. And so fast forward a couple of years, I really didn't have much need for God, didn't have much need for anybody, because my heart was just so broken. And I turned myself into what I call a self-made introvert. I had this idea that there wasn't anybody that was going to be able to help me through this journey, that it was going to be myself and only myself that was going to be able to survive this journey. And it was my goal to not be a statistic, to not be an abused, battered woman, and to not allow anyone to have any type of control over me. And that also included God. He wasn't going to tell me where I was going to go. He wasn't going to tell me what I was going to do. He wasn't going to have any control over my life at all. It was all going to be me, and I was going to forge my own path. And as I continued down that journey, I alienated myself from having any type of relationship with anyone. Every relationship that I did have was very surface, very shallow. It's basically what I could get out of you, and that was it. I was not emotionally available for anybody, not even my own children, which is hard, because I wasn't willing to share affection with them. I wasn't willing to share any of my story with them. And it became a struggle in our marriage as well, because we just didn't have that level of intimacy that we needed to be able to go farther.
So you actually remarried?
I did remarry 7 years later, and I ended up having 2 more children on top of my one from my first marriage. But I spent, I'm going to say, the majority of my marriage. So I got married in 2006 all the way up until 2017, I spent those years in a very deep, dark depression that was filled with anxiety, filled with unworthiness. Nobody, just felt like nobody liked me, but how would I know? I wasn't willing to put myself out there and talk to anybody. I wasn't willing to do the work that it requires to have substance in relationships. I just wanted to wake up, do what I'm required to do, and go back to bed at the end of the night. I didn't want to have to put forth any more effort into showing people that I cared. Because caring has always brought pain and heartache and disappointment and struggle. I also deal with a hearing disability.
Was that from birth?
No, it started when I was about 10.
Okay.
I really lost the majority of my hearing about 2015.
Okay.
I spent an entire year with only 25% of my hearing in one ear. That year and a half was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Dealing with people that are not used to dealing with other people with disabilities was also heartbreaking. And a lot of times I felt that communication was just, it's not worth it.
You felt more alienated?
Yes, I did. I felt more alienated. I did get to have a surgery which brought back about 75% of my hearing in one ear. So I have learned to kind of deal and tolerate with the hearing loss, and I over the years I have learned to tolerate people's intolerance of the disability as well. But and I never really thought that I would ever be in a situation where I would ever be concerned that maybe I would lead somebody astray. However, here we are. I started Freedom Fitness in 2019. Well, let me back up and say that in 2017, I did have a serious breakdown, a mental breakdown, where I had been high functioning depression, high functioning anxiety for so many years that my body just said,
Enough.
We can't do it anymore.
Wow.
We can't do it anymore. We cannot go down this path where we do not reach out to other people and ask for help, or we do not begin to unearth some of those feelings that are just eating me alive on the inside. I had some wonderful therapists. They saved my life. Absolutely saved my life. And I have seen almost a complete turnaround in going through therapy and dealing with some of those things that absolutely needed to be dealt with.
Right.
And in 2019, I decided I was going to make a healthy change for myself. Right, I was going to I was going to treat my body with more love and more kindness.
Where did that come from? Where did that idea come from?
Well, I think for me, because I hadn't really felt like other people had really poured into me. And throughout my therapy sessions, they were like, you really need to, take some time and love yourself and take some time and have some quiet time where you're alone so that you can process through things that you need. You got to treat yourself well. And so, I don't know. I don't really know how to do that.
It's hard as a mom.
Yes.
Sometimes it's really, really hard because doing just becomes like almost like a reaction.
Yes.
It's just doing, and to not want to feel selfish, but sometimes you got to be selfish, and I'm learning that myself.
Yeah, there was a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
And I think and my husband is a great man, but even he was kind of like, oh gosh, you're going to be gone out of the house till 5:30 or 6. What are we going to have for dinner? You know? And I was like, well, I don't know. I guess we're having hot dogs tonight.
Go out.
You know,
Right.
Because for me, it wasn't so much. I'll say this. At first, it was about coming and working out and looking different. And because I previously could have been a vain person. You know, I could have been about, you know, what my body looks like and how pretty do I look today, because that's how I felt like I gained worth. It wasn't about what I was bringing to the table.
Right.
It was about what I looked like, what I offered, because I just wanted somebody to love me. I don't care how you love me. I just wanted you to love me and say, oh, you're beautiful, or oh, you're pretty. Not, oh, you know, you're super intelligent, or you're so graceful in the way that you do this. It wasn't about that for me. And so I thought, well, one of the ways that I know that I could show obsession in, right? Because we're still in obsession, is throw myself into working out.
Yeah.
And becoming physically fit and feeling strong. And so that's what I did. I started coming and I was working out, and I felt good about myself because I could come in here and I could do the HIIT workouts and I could do the circuit workouts, and I didn't really feel all that tired, right? I was like, oh, maybe I'm stronger than what I think I am. And so I just kept showing up because it made me feel powerful in something. It gave me a sense of
strong, courageous.
Yeah, work. I was doing something. And then one day during because Gretchen always incorporates a Jesus floor time in our workouts, and this part of the workout soon became vital for me. I needed that 10 minutes or that 15 minutes at the end of the workout because now it became my quiet time.
Yeah.
Now, did I ever expect that I would find that Jesus would meet me in that quiet time? Absolutely not. Because again, I'm still not on the whole Jesus train, right? I'm still not, he didn't love me enough to provide me with people that cared about me, or that encouraged me, or that lifted me up in any way. I had to do that on my own. And so I'm still not there yet, and I come and I'm doing this Jesus floor time one day, and I remember laying here, and I had a bad week with my husband. And I remember, I don't know why, I just decided to speak out and say, you know what, Gretchen was praying, I'm tired. I'm tired of going down this same road. I'm tired of not getting anywhere. I'm done. Tell me what to do. Do I need to divorce him? Do I need to stay and we need to go to marriage counseling? What do I need to do? I can't seem to shake him and wake him up, you know? I said, I've done everything. And I heard him speak to me very clearly and tell me, you have not done everything. You've not done everything. You have not prayed for your husband. I remember thinking to myself, pray for him? I haven't even prayed for myself. I haven't prayed at all in forever. How am I supposed to pray for him? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. But I was like, okay, fine, have it your way, right? And I kind of shut down, and I did not. I didn't go and pray for him because, again, I was one of those things like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to say. What am I praying to? How do I feel about that relationship? I've always believed in God, and I've always, knew that He was there, but I just never felt that I could make that connection with Him. And then when I completely shut it down, I knew that I wasn't making any connection. So I didn't know how to go back and restart that and begin to ask or pray for something that I didn't understand and I didn't know how to, the right words, I guess. But I kept showing up, and I kept showing up because working out made me feel strong. And we can fast forward to probably 2021 is when I really started to make the decision to start seeking Him out on my own. Let's get into the Bible. Let's get into some podcasts that are talking about the Bible. And I began to feel like I was beginning to make a little bit of connection, and I kept showing up, and I kept doing my Jesus for time. And then I decided that I wanted to do something. I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself. And so I had talked to Gretchen about the Revelation Wellness, and thought, this might be a really good opportunity for me to be able to connect with women, or draw women out that have disabilities, that are not being reached, that maybe they're fearful to come into a place like Freedom Fitness because they're afraid of what somebody might say to them, or how they might feel. But fear got a hold of me at that point too, right? Because then it was saying to me, well, what if I lead somebody astray? What if somebody is talking to me and I misunderstand what they say, or I don't hear them speaking to me and don't acknowledge them, or don't respond in the right way? Am I going to then turn them away? Am I going to make them feel like I have felt many, many times? I don't ever want to be that. I don't ever want to be that person. And so I backed off. Maybe it's not right for me. Maybe that's not what I need to do, because I can't hear all of that well, and I absolutely don't want to be the reason for somebody else's, they're stumbling along the way.
Right.
And so I prayed about it. I dwelled on it. And I really felt like he told me that you're not going to hear things that are not meant for you.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah, like you're not going to hear.
You're going to hear everything he needs you to hear.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. What you need to hear, you're going to hear, and how you need to respond, I will give you the response for that if it's in my, if it's in my will.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay.
He takes the stress out of it. He really does when we just listen and take that time to. Yeah, he really does take the stress out.
It is about quieting your mind and really paying attention and being aware. And that does allow us to be able to tap into that and actually get what he's trying to give us.
Yeah, because he's here. Holy Spirit's in here. And it's like, but we put barriers around him. We put boxes around. You put a box around your heart.
Yes.
He couldn't put people in your life to pour into you because you had alienated yourself from everyone else. And then we get angry because there's nobody there, but we've shut that door. They can't get through.
Yep. And so when we do the work and we show up, and that's one of the things I feel like Gretchen and Michelle were just placed in the right time for me. And I really, Gretchen is almost like my mama bird, because along this journey, she's encouraged me. Even when I stepped out and I'm not coming back, I feel like I'm getting a little close to people, and I'm not coming back there. It's time for me to kind of bail and go do something else. She would pull me back in. And she just encouraged and pushed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And you feel that. You feel that love that just comes over you when other people are in prayer for you. Okay, so I signed up for the Revelation Wellness, and I'm going through it. It was such an amazing experience. I learned so much about faithfulness and showing up, even when it's hard and ugly and nasty and sticky and slimy. You still got to go. You still got to show up. That's what you're called to do. Because there's such a blessing in it. It may not be an immediate oh, congratulations, you've done a great job and here's your trophy, right?
No, it's never. I've never seen one of those.
No, it's not like that. But there is this sense of peace and this sense of to say accomplishment. I don't really know how to say it. There's just a sense that comes over you that you just know that you've been able to do something in His will that's going to go out and bless somebody else.
Yeah.
And there's just this peace that comes over in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then leading up to the retreat,
Yes.
I was excited about going at first, then fear.
Yes.
I don't want to go
Yeah.
because I don't want to make any new friends. I don't need any new friends. I have enough, right here in my little town.
Here we
I have
go.
enough friends. I don't want to share anymore. I feel like I've done enough sharing over the last, couple of weeks that we've been in this. And I feel like I've really done some hard work, and that should be enough, right? Well, of course, Gretchen and them were praying because I've tried to back out. Then when I made the decision, okay, I'll go. I'll use it as like, a vacation. Well, my car, my car broke down.
Oh no.
My uncle passed away.
Oh no.
I had a ginormous audit at work that takes, I've been preparing for this for months and months and months. All of this happened 1 week prior to the retreat. And the emotional stress that I was under, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to go and do anything because I just am a mess. I'm stressed and I'm overworked and I'm tired and I don't want to go. I just want to lay in my bed and do nothing. And again, Gretchen and Michelle are just
Praying you in.
fighting and praying and praying and praying. And I'm like, okay. They kept telling me it's life-changing.
That's
life-changing.
And it is.
It absolutely was.
Totally.
I didn't believe them at first.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever. Let's go see what Michelle's talking about being life-changing.
I had the girl that Rebecca, Rebecca from here.
Yes.
I used to trained her for years, and she was the one that said, I promise you, she said, this is going to take your relationship with God to a whole new level. You never dreamed you could go where this is going to take you. That was my motivation to go. That was my motivation. Okay, it's going to take us to a whole new level. Then okay, I'm going.
See what you got.
I want to see it. I want to know what level there is. I feel like I was floundering.
Yeah. Well, and I realized that week before that I went, I had talked, Gretchen and Michelle, and just about how the devil he works on those points, those things that are weaknesses. So if he knows that I'm under some sort of emotional turmoil and stress, then he's going to make those things much bigger because he knows that those things are going to stop me dead in my tracks, and I'm not going to move forward anymore. I'm just going to lay in bed because I have a tendency to resort back to that depression and just stay in that.
Yeah, and he's a creature of habit. He has by no means, he only has as much power as we give him.
Absolutely.
And he is a creature of habit, so he learns us, he studies us, and he knows us well. Okay. And he knows exactly what needs to rise up, and he's constantly working. It's like he's prowling around.
Absolutely,
waiting. He's waiting to pounce. And so that doesn't surprise me because I've dealt with depression, not quite where I don't know, maybe at one point in my life I was fairly depressed, but it is something that, once he's had you there, he knows how to get you back there.
Absolutely.
And the only thing that is my saving grace is when I start feeling those things is I just start singing and I start praising, and because he cannot inhabit my praise.
That's absolutely right.
That's my weapon.
Yes, that's a good one. I've really been trying to make an effort to get into the Word every morning and do the She Reads the Truth Bible studies. And it is just reading that verse every single morning, and I just try to carry that with me through the day. And so that when I do feel like I'm getting back to that serious depressive state, that I can pull myself back out of that. Just by knowing that he's walking with me, that he's there with me, that he's got my back, he's holding my hand, he's, we have things to smile about. It is never, that bad.
Yeah. It's never as bad as we think it is.
That's right. That's right.
It's like we think the world's going to come. It's like,
Right.
that's not.
And the sky is falling.
I have a question for you. We're going to run out of time real quick here.
Okay.
That when I talked about your singing Amazing Grace, and the reason that was so special and stood out to me was because I had just learned about your hearing issues.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful voice. I was standing to the side, and I was just weeping because I knew, wow, you're sitting there with that microphone in your hand on your knees in front of, who knows? I mean, there was like close to 130 people there.
Yes.
And you were just singing Amazing Grace, and it was the most beautiful sound.
Thank you.
It was the most beautiful sound. And I was like, oh my gosh, in spite of it, she's singing. In spite of it. It's like deafness, you don't have a hold on me.
Absolutely.
And you were singing.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, that was the most amazing. And it was like, I think at that moment, it was that I realized the power of what God was doing. I mean, that whole night was, oh my gosh, was amazing. But it was like when I came downstairs and I heard this voice and I walked to the front to see who it was, and you were kneeling with that microphone, and I was just like, wow, God, what you're doing in her right now, and the message and the testimony that just poured out on me. I can't speak for anyone else, that was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I always feel like I'm not really good with words, and I'm definitely not a teacher of the Bible. I don't know that much about it. And so one of the things that I always said that I could do was I could always turn my radio up really loud and sing, and sometimes I get the words wrong because I can't hear all of the words because of the music that's behind it. But it doesn't matter. I know the gist of it, and I can raise my hands up and I can praise, and I was like, maybe I could just sing for you one day. And I remember I really hadn't felt much throughout the retreat, and I was laying there when we had
the Psalms 23 that
Yeah.
we're laying there, and she's like, you're imagining yourself
Yes.
being with him, Jesus.
And, and I remember him telling me, he's like, I'm going to give you a voice. When you get up from here, you're going to be able to sing. And I was like, oh, okay. And I remember testing it out, right? I remember laying there going, no, I still sound very much like I did before I laid down here and, got to walk beside you and meet you again. And I tried to run. I tried not to do it. As soon as I got up, he told me that I needed to sing. And I was like, what are you have lost your mind, right? If you have mine. Like, there's no way that I can sing in front of all of these people. There's no way. And I remember running into the staircase because we were going up to get our feet washed, and they were going to pray over us, and running up into the staircase, and I was trying to sing in the staircase, right? I was like, oh, no, still sound terrible. And I remember telling Amber, one of the other ladies that was with us in the retreat, like, what am I supposed to do? He's asking me to do something, but I don't know if I'm supposed to do it. What am I supposed to do? And I remember just turning around and running back down the stairs, and I just ran to Gretchen and kneeled at her. And I was like, Gretchen, like, this is crazy, but I have to sing. And I don't know what I'm supposed to sing. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. And then I even looked at her and was like, well, what if I don't do it?
Oh, yeah.
What if I don't do it? And before she could even answer me, I was like, oh, I already know. He's going to give it to somebody else. He's going to take my voice away from me. He's going to give it to somebody else. So I'm going to do it. I said, just find me a song. And she's like, what song? I was like, I don't know. I don't know any of the words to all of one song because I can't hear all of the words. I very rarely get all of the words on the song. So it's like, just find something where the words will pop up and I'll sing it. And of course, we picked Amazing Grace, which is one of the hardest songs as far as, I'm going to picture this song. And because I really feel like because I just obeyed him, whether it came out, beautiful to everyone or just a select few that heard it, it was for a reason. It was because I softened my heart like he had asked me to during that retreat, and let him in and let him use me for something. And because of that, he gave me another task. And that was to go and pray with one of the ladies that was there that I had not spoken to the entire retreat. I didn't know what she had going on, but he asked me to go pray. And again, I was like, out of all the things you're asking me to do, sing and pray. And I've never prayed over anybody out loud. I've never went and laid my hands on anyone and prayed for them. And so I just felt, okay, I guess. And so I went and did that. And I just decided that I would begin by just speaking things over her that I would want somebody to speak over me. And it just kind of started to begin to flow out of me. And he just started giving me words. And when my job was done, I backed off and let some other ladies come in. And as a result of that, I got to witness her truly being freed from something
that had been with her whole life, I believe.
Now I'm not saying that because of me by any means, but I feel like when we're called to do something and we act on it, we're just a very small part of the big puzzle. There were so many other people.
Because you didn't know anything about what was going to come after that. You were just obedient, and that's what he wants.
That's right. And there were so many other people that needed to be involved in that, that needed to listen and hear him speak and do their part.
Sure.
So it was absolutely life-changing for me. I got to hear him really speak to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I am so thankful for you, and I am so thankful that you decided to share with me, and I can't wait to be able to spend more time together here. We're at Freedom Fitness in Morristown today, and this is in the living room, and you can see part of the wall back here, but it says, love God, get healthy, be whole, and love others. And that is, that's the message that we try to do as Revelation Wellness instructors, and through teaching fitness as a tool to reach into the lives of people that otherwise, just as yourself, would have never possibly ever found your way back to where you are now.
And found community.
Yeah.
There's such an amazing group of women and men who have really been able to be joined together with like minds and like hearts, and really with the same purpose of going out there and searching for those people and bringing them in and loving on them so that they can find their way back to what their purpose is, and back to Jesus.
Well, I just want to thank you, and I just want to ask you, will you do this again with me sometime? Talk about some other stuff, because I just absolutely love it. I love it. I love sharing. I love getting other people's perspectives, and your testimony. That's exactly what. There's so many women out there. I met with Gretchen Thursday, and she was like, you've never met a stranger. But at the same time, it's very easy for me to become very much an introvert and close myself off to people. And so it's like I've gotten to a place in life where I have to actually say, no, I'm going out there.
Yep, you show up.
Yep, I'm going to show up. So it's important. You want to pray us out of here?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just come to you and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us this time together to come and share with each other and be thankful for one another. And, I'm just so grateful for the journey and where the journey has brought me, and all of these amazing people that I've got to meet along the way that I just love and I just adore them. And I hope that, the message that the information that we talked about today, the story that I shared and some of the story that Sharon shared as well, gets to reach those hearts that may be closed off, or maybe wondering or questioning how they may find their way back to you. And I hope that, in some way that that they reconnect with you and that they find their way back to you. We love you. We are so thankful for your presence in our daily lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.